why we sold our brand new construction house and bought a fixer-upper from 1979 instead. Hello, you guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Rebecca. I'm a realtor based here in Middle Tennessee, and I make videos every single week talking about all things life around Nashville, tips for buying or selling here, things to do here, and kind of just life in general as a wife and a mom and a realtor, because things get a little bit crazy sometimes. But in today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different and talk to you guys about why my husband and I sold our brand new construction house and bought a fixer-upper split level from 1979 instead. So here we go. And basically the reason that I'm making this video isn't to sway you in one direction or the other. I have plenty of clients that are interested in a new build, and I also have plenty that are interested in older fixer-upper style homes or just regular move-in ready existing homes. So I just thought it might be interesting to give you guys a little bit more insight, seeing as my husband and I have lived in both. We've renovated a house before, and then we went to a new construction, and then, like I said, we just sold it and bought another fixer-upper. So I thought it might just be an interesting perspective and maybe give you some additional insight if you're between the two, or maybe if you've thought about one or the other and maybe this will change things for you. I don't know, just something to think about, but hopefully this is insightful and helpful in some way. So like I said, the house, the first house that my husband and I had together was an older house. It was from the 80s, and we put a lot of work into that house. We built an addition on it. We completely renovated the kitchen. We did a lot of also like smaller work just in the bedrooms, like adding accent walls and building built-in desks and just random things like that. But we spent like 3 years, well actually more than that, 4 or 5 years, putting so much work into that house. And then, like I said, we moved, and then we bought a new construction that had literally just been completed. It was like a move-in ready new construction, so we didn't work with a builder to build it. It was just one of their like move-in ready inventory homes. So from that perspective, it was a little bit different from like a normal new construction experience where you work with a builder and like go through all the steps of building it and picking out fixtures and colors and everything like that. But yeah, it was a brand new construction house, and it was a gorgeous house. We really liked a lot of things about it, but we also kind of didn't like a lot of things about it. And maybe that was just because our experience was coming from an older house that we had put so much of our own work into. But I don't know, like I said, this might just give you some insight or give you something to think about that you haven't already. So that's the whole point. So honestly, the number one reason for us that we didn't really like living in a new construction house was just because it didn't really feel special to us. Like I said, it was a beautiful house. Like, we loved, and I especially loved, being able to decorate it and just how it looked. It was close to perfect. I feel like it was such a like Pinteresty house, but it didn't have that like special feeling. It didn't have that like connection to our family that our old house did. And I think that was just because, like I said, we put so much of our own work and literal blood, sweat, and tears into our previous house, making it the home that we wanted, that then going into a builder grade new construction house just didn't feel the same. And obviously that doesn't mean that you can't put special touches and like put your own work into a new construction house. You absolutely can. I think for us, it just felt like it's a brand new house, so why would we go and like spend the money and do all this work adding things that really aren't necessary, especially when we have like landscaping to do and a basement that's not finished where our money could be going. So, I mean, that's obviously something to keep in mind if you move into a new construction and you want to still be able to put your touch on it and make it feel more homey. But for us, it just didn't really make sense to do that. And not only that, but like I said, the house that we bought had no landscaping at all. When we moved in, it was a forest of weeds in the front and backyard. I'll put up a picture here so you can see how bad it was. And then also the basement wasn't finished. So that was a lot of work. Obviously you can hire out to get those things done, which is what a lot of people do, and they just maybe factor that into their budget, or they just wait until they can afford to hire it out. We, for one, didn't really want to hire it out, and also it was insanely expensive to do that. The quotes that we got for our landscaping were like 25-30 grand, which I mean is pretty average, but it just wasn't doable and it didn't make sense for us to do that. And so we spent like 2 years trying to do it ourselves and get it to a decent place. And then as soon as we did that, we sold it, of course. And then we had started working on the basement, but we never even got it close to being finished, which was fine. It was mostly just kind of storage and like an office for us anyway. So for one, that was just a huge expense, which you need to be aware of going into a new construction, because that is something that I feel like can kind of be forgotten about, just because you see like this beautiful move-in ready home, but then it's like, oh, you need a sprinkler system, you need to put grass in, you need to put trees in, you need to do all this landscaping that your neighborhood might require. You probably need to put a fence in, and then if you have a basement, that's a whole other story. So that's obviously a huge project and a huge expense, and on top of everything else, it kind of just took the fun out of it for us. But yeah, and I know it seems crazy talking about like how much work and these huge projects and everything, and then going to a fixer-upper split level from 1979, but to us, I don't know, it feels different. It feels so much more special to be like going in and completely renovating and kind of like creating a home for our family from scratch than to just move into like a new build. And maybe that's just us. Like I said, I know plenty of people that love new constructions or have lived in new construction or do currently, and they absolutely love it. But I think for us, we just need that. And we love like that process and designing it and putting the work in ourselves. So that was a huge thing for us, and we're so excited to get back to that. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope, like I said, that maybe just gave you a different perspective on the whole new build versus existing home versus fixer-upper or whatever it may be that you might be looking at. But yeah, as always, if you have any questions on any of this or different types of homes or moving to Tennessee or anything under the sun, feel free to drop them below. Send me an email. I'll put all of my contact information in the description box below, and you can always feel free to connect with me on social media as well. And until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.